All right, welcome back. Welcome back. It is a terrific Tuesday, and not so terrific down in Washington as it seems in the last few weeks. There have been a lot of decisions that really affected the Obama Justice Department, and one in a list of many is the House Intel Committee's documents about CrowdStrike. And someone who knows a heck of a lot more about this than me is Ray McGovern, who joins us right now along with Frank Morano. And, Ray McGovern is a former CIA agent, and he's friends, I guess, with Julian Assange. He's got the Julian Assange beard going. What do people need to know about how crazy this is?
Well, John, it's really deranged. What we have is the result of 3.5 years plus of plugging away by the mainstream media about how Russia hacked into the Democratic National Committee computers and stole the emails from Hillary Clinton and the DNC and gave them to WikiLeaks for publication. Now, it's pretty obvious that those emails were very, very damaging. What did they say? Well, they proved in hard text that Hillary had stolen the nomination from Bernie Sanders. Because we're all out there. I mean, the primaries and everything else. So it was damaging. Now, did Julian Assange expose these because he wanted to hurt Hillary Clinton? I don't know. But it was out there. What was he going to do? Sit on them? Now, the question is, how did he get them? And right away, everybody said, even before the Democratic National Convention on the 25th of July, 2016, everybody was saying, the Russians did it, the Russians hacked, the Russians got this. Well, we could look at the technical details because our little group has two former National Security Agency technical directors, not one, but two. They looked at all the data and said, there's no proof that the Russians hacked. As a matter of fact, there's no proof that anyone hacked. Why do we say that? Well, it's a technical thing. It has to do with the capability of the internet at that point in time and the fact that the thing was downloaded. The emails were downloaded at a speed that was 3 times what the internet could tolerate, and happened to be exactly what a thumb drive, what an external storage device could. So what we could say was, this looks really fishy. There are technical problems. We saw more technical problems. And then, John, as you referred to in the beginning, the proof came pretty much about 10 days ago when Adam Schiff was forced. Adam Schiff is the Democrat head of the House Intelligence Committee. When he was forced to release the testimony, the sworn testimony of people he interviewed having to do with Russiagate. Now, what's the key here? The key here is that he interviewed the head of this cyber firm called CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike was hired by the DNC, just like Christopher Steele was, paid by the DNC, and CrowdStrike, if you can believe James Comey, wouldn't let Comey look at the computers, even after they were said to have been hacked by Russia. Here's McCain out there. Act of war. It's an act of war by Russia. And Comey sits back and says, well, CrowdStrike, let CrowdStrike do the forensics. Well, now we know that even CrowdStrike couldn't prove it because their head told the Schiff committee, there's no evidence, there's no concrete evidence we see that those emails were exfiltrated, namely hacked.
Right.
What happened was they were downloaded onto a thumb drive, put in somebody's pocket, and taken across the Atlantic or wherever WikiLeaks was set up to reproduce them, now or to post them. They don't touch them, just post them. So what do we have? Well, we have us, veteran intelligence professionals for sanity, saying from the outset, this smells really funny. Yep. And then having enough forensic evidence in the middle of July 2017 to say this is really phony. And now we can say it was a crock, as we say in the Bronx, a crock from the start. Wow. Here's the head of that CrowdStrike thing saying we could never prove that these things were hacked.
Wow. So let me ask you this. Number one, I always found it ironic that they would have a guy with zero intelligence as the head of the Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff. It just never strikes me as intelligently thought out in anything that he does. But I wonder. If you're biased, like Frank and I are friends with Roger Stone, so some people say I'm biased towards him. When you look at the compendium of evidence now down to sworn testimony, doesn't it, your CIA analyst part, nonpartisan, think this was a setup the whole time?
Well, I'm a little long in the tooth to have active contacts with CIA analysts now.
Right.
But we former analysts, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. What happened was John Brennan, whom you mentioned, head of the CIA, James Comey, head of the National Intelligence, and James Comey, head of the FBI, and Jim Clapper, head of National Intelligence. They all got it in their mind that they would help Hillary, because she was very much more safe than this crazy fellow Trump who was criticized. Can you imagine criticizing the Intelligence Committee? Wow. So they tried to help him. They tried to help him be defeated. That didn't work. And therein lies the problem.
Right.
You guys remember Hillary was a shoo-in, right?
Absolutely. I mean, well, that's definitely taken for granted. Frankie, we got about a minute left. I don't know if you want to hit Ray with something now, or I know we're going to carry over.
Well, nothing that would require less than okay, if Mr. McGovern, in 30 seconds or so, obviously there are a lot of Republicans and Trump partisans that are trying to portray the Russia investigation as a witch hunt, but even most of them, at least those of them in Washington, always begin their commentary by acknowledging that Russia tried to interfere in the election. If you can, in 30 seconds, is that a fact? Do you accept that as a fact the way that these guys do? And if not, why do those guys always give that up as part of their premise?
Really good question, Frank. The answer is beats the hell out of me. We've tried to brief them up and down, but now things may be changing with this new documentary sworn testimony evidence.
Got it. All right, we're going to leave it right there, but you don't leave. Stay right there. 1 minute break. We're going to come back with some more Ray McGovern, former CIA analyst, and Ray is going to be talking to us about what looks like to be another setup job by the Democrats. That and more right after this.